What's up, guys? It's Jenks in the business. We got some more goodies for the Road Glide. No. The next thing I want to do is I want to test fit the handlebars and see where they fit and how they feel before I do all the wiring and set everything up. I want to make sure this setup is comfortable and it's exactly what I'm looking for. So I'm just going to hold the handlebars in place and just kind of sit on the bike. So I'm going to set the handlebars in, kind of center them up. Some people will roll them up, some people roll them back a little bit. I mean, you obviously don't want them way far down, but I think somewhere about here is a pretty good spot as long as everything else bolts up the way it should. I can still see the gauges. The 10-inch riser for my height, I'm 5'7". With this seat, the 10-inch riser stops my side of view just at the bottom of the screen, so it's not blocking anything. That was something that I was concerned about for a while looking at different riser setups. I almost wish like they came back just a touch more closer to me, but once we get everything bolted up and we get a real feel of it, I should be able to make any sort of adjustments I may need after that. I think the position is just maybe a touch lower than the stock setup. It's a little bit narrower. I think I'm gonna like it. So what I did on the stock handlebars is I put a yellow zip tie right where the wires come through on the handlebars, and we're about to pull the wiring out of the stock handlebar so that we can feed it into the new thrashing handlebar. So on the new bar, we'll take the harness. I pulled the stickers off to clean it up a little bit, the labels, and we will run these wires, push them through the bar. You can use a little pick or something to pull them out of the bar. Pull them back in where the yellow zip tie is, and that's one. Pull the old stickers off. Now we'll feed these wires down through the handlebar. There's one. Now we should be able to feed it back in. A little bit more difficult because it's a 1-inch bar versus the larger OEM bar. So with the new handlebars plumbed with the wires, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a zip tie around there just to kind of hold them in place. And I may leave this there even after the install just to help keep it clean. And we'll cut that flush. So on the wiring, I went over it with a expanded loom, not a split loom. This is all one piece of loom to clean that up, and that way we can run it down one of the risers or between the risers without it looking like a total mess. So we're going to take the new handlebar, we're going to kind of set it in place. We will take the new clamp and we'll basically just snug this up just a little bit, just enough to hold the bar in place. We'll work on getting them centered up and then we'll set the angle on them, and then we can route all of our wires. So now we'll go ahead and plug all of our wiring harness back in. We may have to do a little bit of adjusting as it doesn't sit exactly where it used to. We'll hook our ground wire back up. All I'm doing here, where it used to have a ground on the triple tree, I just looped and stacked the ground there. That way if I ever put it back stock, I don't have to add a ground wire. Go ahead, plug that up. Put it back in its little retainer, just like that. If we ever change the triple tree, we'll have to do a little bit more adjusting on how the wires look. I don't love the way they look, but they're all hidden under the nacelle plastic cover up here. It's not really too big a deal. So all the front, all the wiring up here is now done. It has retainers here to hold the clutch and the brake line. We'll need to pull off little mounting brackets that held those on because they no longer bolt to the triple tree. So with everything in and snugged up, we still need to route the clutch and the brake line, and they came out through the nacelle before. Take the mounting bracket off of the clutch line, clutch cable. Now we can fit the nacelle back in place. It has got substantially more room than it had before. Plastic pin in. Get this snapped together. We'll get the two screws in above the lock. Just like that. And we can take our 3/8 bolts that go back in the sides. Turn this one so we can get to it. And then we can put our key bezel back in place. Now I've already slid the thrash and throttle tube in place. We've got our wires here. We need to plug that one up. And we need to plug this one up. Listen for that click. This wire is going to plug into the brake lever. We can go ahead and cut our zip tie off of there. Want to make sure that this is all the way in place. We can go ahead and put our cover back on. Get everything mocked up and set in place. The grips is the easy part. We can plug our brake lever back up. There's the click we're looking for. Some of this stuff we're just bolting up as a mock-up, and then get everything fit and adjusted, and then we can Loctite any bolts that we need to Loctite. Make sure the throttle tubes still work. Plug this side in. Plug in that wire. Snugged up there. So what I've decided to do about the grips is I'm going to take the levers back off. The OEM grip is a vulcanized grip, so the new grip is just going to glue onto the handlebar. So I want to kind of open this stuff up to make sure nothing interferes when we put it on. We may have to trim a lip off of it with a razor blade once it's done. But I want to get some of this stuff out of the way just to make sure that we don't have any issues with it. Get that unplugged. Just for comparison, this is got a hard plastic tube on the inside, where this is just rubber. It still has the lip where it would sit inside the control. So we're going to loosen the control up, see if we can glue the grip on, and then get that lip inside there. Get loose. And we should have enough room there to be able to pull this back around the grip. We hold this up just for reference. Puts this about there. This has 2 lips on it. I think what I'm going to do is cut one lip off, because if you look inside, if you can see it, it just has 1 lip there. I guess it would still work. Squirted our grip glue in the grip. I'm going to smear a little bit on there. Try to get all the lightning bolts straight. Get that where it'll line up. This glue is going to take just a little while to dry. You can go ahead and put this cover back on. It has a dowel in the handlebar and actually won't sit flush until that dowel is lined up. Still have a little bit of up and down adjustment. And again, I'm just going to snug these up until I get the levers on, get the handlebars adjusted where I want them. Once the levers are on and the handlebars are adjusted, we can do any sort of fine tuning that we want to do as far as getting the perfect placement of the handlebars, the grips and control, or the controls and levers. Just got that snugged up. The grip is almost dried in place. Now let's go do the throttle tube side. So on the other control, this locks the throttle, this tab here locks the throttle tube in place. It has notches it goes into, and it has to slide, and you can see it has this little guide here. So we got to make sure that our grip goes on and stops at this first ledge so that we don't interfere with the movement of the throttle tube. It's very easy to do off the bike, no problems there. So this dowel here fits into the throttle tube there as a throttle lock, so we want to make sure that that side is up. We place it in, slide it on, plug in the first plug. It's a little harder to get to. Plug in that second plug there, pull the wires out of the way, lock the throttle tube in place, make sure it functions. And we can put our cover back on. Again, just going to snug these up until we get everything set and adjusted. Put our brake lever back up, make sure we plug it back in. So I've got thread locker on the bolts. Arlen Ness says to torque this clamp to 20 foot-pounds. So I think I've got the bars adjusted where I want them. I've got everything torqued down except for the levers. I'm about to adjust those, get those where I want them, and then I'll give you an overview of what it all looks like installed, and maybe a shot from further back so you can see kind of the riding position with this handlebar versus the stock handlebar. All right, so got everything Loctited, torqued down, got the risers installed, the grips installed, the new handlebars installed, the solid bushings installed. I thought it'd be a totally different bike. I'm about to let it off the jack and see what it feels like, but before I do that, I'm gonna give you a couple of shots of it. So this is actually the second riser I bought. I bought an 8-inch because I was worried that I wouldn't be able to see the screen. Only being 5'7", I thought that it would be in the way. That's why I didn't buy a 10-inch. But then once I got the 8-inch risers in my hands with the handlebars, held them up, mocked them up, was a no-go. It was going to put the bars way too low. It was going to be way too hunched over. So I decided to drop back, order 10 inches with the 5-inch high bend thrashing bar, and I will give you a shot of looking at the screen from basically my eye point of view so that you can see it doesn't block the screen. It looks like it would from every angle that you look at the motorcycle, but it does not block the screen, and I'll show you. This is my view looking down at the screen from my riding position. Hand on the bar. So we still have just a little bit of room underneath the screen there. If you're reaching up to touch the screen, I'm sure it's hard to touch anyway, but you can still reach it, you can still touch it. Bike is still leveled out on the stand, but I'm going to sit on it, kind of show you the riding position while that's holding it up. Again, this is my view looking down with the risers, 10-inch riser to show if it blocks the screen or not. And you can see it does not. Like I said earlier, guys, I got a lot more to come. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that stuff. Hit the notification button or whatever. Hello? Hello? Hello?